Mr. Black here again with another guide video. So I've actually got quite a lot of requests for this one, so I'm going to do a bit of a basic tricks, tips, beginner's guide for dreams. So I've received quite a lot of questions, so I'm going to start off with the most basic one. What is dreams? So dreams is essentially a massive big collection of floors where you start and you slowly progress all the way around, all the way through until the max level of 400. So essentially starting, it all depends on the level of your character starting it. So if you are already level 200, you will start at floor 200. The lowest floor you can start off with is level 50, and the highest standard floor is level 400. It does continue and continue and continue. However, you don't get any rewards after floor 400, but the more you progress through it, the harder those rooms will get. Essentially, every time you progress a floor, all of the monsters will get that little bit more vitality, a little bit more damage, and eventually you can end up against a Peewee with 20,000 vitality. So let's talk. So some of the rewards from Dreams, some absolutely incredible rewards if you've got the patience to do it. Things like your Lady Jessica Bow, Jahash K, Fallon Star. If you can do it, 100% go for those big high rewards. And then, so the way you actually get those rewards is through some chests. So I've actually got one of each of the chests here just to show you guys. So it starts off with just the lowest one. So you've got your lowest tier rooms. So what you will see on, I'll show you on here, is you will see that each room has a number above it. And so this is your current level, but each room over the top will have another number over it. Now the higher the number, the greater the reward. So as you can see here, there is an ornament around this one. So this one I would more than likely get a medium level chest. So the harder the room, the greater the reward. So for the lowest tier, you end up with these little small chests. Well, until the higher level rooms, you don't get any legendaries. So unlike this Misty one, you could potentially get a Legend of War, Legend of Brown, Legend of Dodge. But if you go all the way up to the highest tier one, you can get the Servitude, Jahash, and the other one. So they're the ones you really want to go for, but obviously they are extremely hard rooms. But the kind of bosses you could really kind of expect is everything from Ronan Schaefer, XLII, now Wayne, and up on my pandas, which is currently floor 353. I've got Dazat, Puppet Master, but you can get any boss in any room. I could, if I did this room on my Sadie now, my next one I could get Belladonna, Conflict, Cabal. It could be anything. They are completely random. There are certain bosses that I believe you cannot get in here, which I believe they've actually just updated. So I'm not going to spiel off a whole list of bosses that you can't get in here anymore. But there's a couple I personally try to avoid, Puppet Master definitely being one of them. And I tend to also avoid Queen of Thieves as well. I know some people like to do it, but I try not to. Alright, so a little bit more about what Dreams has before you even get into your rooms. So each room you will gain a certain amount of dream points. So you can see here, dream points to earn this run will be 86. Now you save these up and you are able to buy group bonuses. So these are essentially your buyable bonuses for each room, for each floor you're on. They do only last just while you're in this one room. When you go to the next one, they will change according to what boss you killed in your previous one. Some of them are locked through achievements. So like if I wanted to add Foster Fuji in the next one, I have to have done XLI Tight, which I have not done on my Sadie yet. So save up your points, and essentially you want to buy your boosts, your add bosses, things like that here. which also brings me into my next one, challenges during the fights. When you do a challenge, you do gain more points. You don't get a higher rewards chest, but the points do make it a lot easier later on. So even from the very start, do your challenges. Okay, so my next one is how should those points actually be used? So this all comes down to your team composition. So if you are more singular element, so for instance my main team is all agility, so I always put all of my points into either agility, vitality or power. So as I can show you on my panda, so I'm currently doing 770 agility, 200 vit, 350 power. So I wouldn't buy int or any of those. I would just focus on what is really going to help my team get through these floors. So the last thing you want to do is end up with trap damage, MP reduction, all of these other boosts, which I'm never going to use. No, you want to use your points wisely. Okay, so one of the things that a lot of people I reckon are going to be wondering is what classes do I personally recommend for Dreams? So I tend to use 2 team compositions. So my main one is all close combat. So I've got my Panda, my Masquerader, my Fecker and my Uganak. So my Fecker and Masquerader are both Omni, but using a lot more agility spells and weapons, where my Uganak is pure agility, while obviously my Panda is pure tank. So I'm tailoring my my group boosts, my group bonuses to my team. So essentially with that one, all I would do is every turn, Panda running, grab something, stick it in between, kill it, move on to the next one. Now for some bosses, things like Dazak, where you do need to fight from a distance, I'd change my composition, and I would, for that one, I would actually probably go my Panda NU, and then either say another Kra or Hupper, Sadi, something like that. So I want to be able to keep it pushed back, still focus a lot more damage into agility, and over time that would make it so much easier than trying to close combat that thing. So that would be my team composition recommendations, but you can almost use any class in Dreams. Someone saying, oh, you have to use a Nugana, you have to use a Mask or a Fecker. You don't. It is just about making sure your team is balanced, so that they do complement each other, they can help each other out. So with a Uganak, Fecker and Mask, I've got my shields, I've got my high damage, they work well together. But I wouldn't say put a Kra in close combat with a Fecker. Okay, so one of the last things I would actually say about Dreams is making sure you are on a class, the class actually starting the Dreams is going to be a suitable class for almost every fight. So a Panda is a prime example of this. It is a very versatile class that is able to pretty much go into any fight. There's no real fights that a Panda is completely useless. So for me, either a Panda or a Fecker is a great class to start a Dreams run on. I personally wouldn't start it on, say, a Kra or an Eni or anything like that, because there's certain flaws or certain fights that unfortunately they won't be too much use. But it can be done. You know, there is no limitations. There's no hard limitations that you can't do it. It's just making it a little bit easier if you have a very versatile class for it. But please, if you guys have any more questions on Dreams, hopefully I've managed to answer just a couple of your questions. And yeah, please send me a message. Maybe I'll be able to answer your questions for you. I'll see you in a bit. Bye.